There's quite a lot of buzz at the moment regarding 360 video, 360-degree video, and there's more and more cameras coming out which are claiming, or that are recording 360 spherical video. Nikon has brought out some called the Key Mission 360, which I'll talk about in a second. Ricoh has got their Theta S, their Theta SC. I've had the Theta S, which I'm going to have a video up, just talking about the downsides of it as well. But this is more talking about the idea of 360 video and whether I think we should all start getting invested in it. As if you want the quick answer, too long, couldn't be bothered watching. It's no, I think it's a massive fad that's just going to disappear very, very quickly. The reason for it is it's a technology that's come out which is like, bravo, well done, we've developed some new technology, but for the enjoyment of the viewer and for the video producer to make sure that the viewer is seeing what the producer wants to see, then 360 video is not very helpful. There may be a couple of very small instances where 360 video can be more immersive, where it can be, but a lot of the times I think 360 video is going to be less immersive. It's going to mean more fanning around, trying to look at where the producer, the director, the narrator is pointing to, talking about, referencing and all that kind of stuff, instead of the narrator or the presenter having it directed with video. And that's kind of exactly what Veritasium did a video about recently. He's kind of saying why he thinks spherical video, 360 video, is not good or is a bad idea. And I pretty much agree with pretty much everything that he's saying. But some people have got some other points which I'll just talk about just now. This person says, you're completely missing the point. You shouldn't expect 360 video format to become the only video format. I don't think anybody's saying that. However, trying to mix in 360 video with normal video doesn't work at the moment. So it's certainly at the moment, and I can't quite figure out how you could integrate two types of video format into one. You either have a video which is all 360, or you have a video which is a normal video. Trying to mix it so you're watching one long video and it's like normal video and then suddenly goes into 360, I don't see how that would work, or where that would become immersive. I'd be interested to see if that is something that could happen in the future. That might be actually quite an interesting thing. Anyway, here's another bit. The next person has a good point here. Honestly, where this says Zenturu, honestly, I really enjoyed watching this in spherical 360. Being able to look at your environment as you walked around was way more interesting a viewing experience than if you were just going to vlog this direct to a camera. And that was, I understand that point, however, the point was, this video wasn't about him. It wasn't necessarily about what he was saying. He was showing off the location. So, and again, a lot of the time, unless you have a very interesting presenter, charismatic presenter, who you can just listen to and enjoy the view that he's got, then that's fine. But there were certain points in this where he's saying, look at the video in front, and he's imposed a video later on.
A cruise ship.
And if you're not looking in the right place, you're not going to see it. And again, if he's like pointing over at stuff, like if he's pointing over to the stuff over there, but you're looking over here, you're not seeing it. That's where having just get a super wide angle and move it around, I think would be better. Additionally, on Nikon, even on their video for the Key Mission, 360 video pretty much proves pointless. So in this video, they've got the little camera sitting on the ground, maybe on a little tripod thing, and there's a rhino walking past. That's cool. That's the interesting bit there. The other 360 degrees is not interesting. And like, if we're watching the video there,
open space,
you're missing the view. The view which is actually this. So you're wanting the viewer to see the rhino walking past.
People.
And again, there's another shot. You're like going, what am I looking at? I'm just looking at some sky. Oh, wait a minute, I need to figure out where I need to put this. Oh, there's a bird. That's the shot I want. Looking anywhere else, not that interesting. So I can see it being useful for stuff like webcams, if which is kind of what webcams were doing in the past as well. But again, if you've got a webcam up in the corner of a building to see everything, that's pointless. So is it going to end up being webcams in the middle of streets on lampposts or stuff like that? But generally, unless the presenter is trying to show you something, so if it is just a case of walking around a place and nothing of importance being shown, then I think 360 video is just going to...
Because they're not separate entities.
See there, you're
It
like,
is
what am I looking at?
one
What am I
package.
looking at? I think
And
360
the
videos is going to
people
die. Here, another one.
The key.
And that's another one. If you have it at an angle, it looks really shit. Or maybe that was it. It's on hill. What is the view? What are we seeing there? It's not an interesting view. So that's kind of cool on a camera. But again, if you're just shooting that, you're just kind of going, what are we looking at?
My name is Amy Vitale, and I am a photographer.
I'm
and I guess
not seeing it. So, if any of you are thinking, ooh, 360 video, awesome, I've got to go get one. They're around, how much were they? They're around about 300 something pounds. Or dollars, I think, is how they're going. This one, the new one is, somebody saying, okay, $300. What I will say is that you get very tired of it very quickly. Here's some of the shots which I have done with a 360 camera, and unless you're holding it above your head, like there you can see you're always going to be in the picture, which is funny for an interesting shot for a second. And unless you're taking the time to edit it and upload it in certain situations where you need a software to be able to view it in 360, like Facebook works, but a lot of other places, it's like they'll just upload it and it will be this weird image where you and your hand are in the shot in every single one. Again, with the editing process, it's not a case of, hey, I just upload it to YouTube. Doesn't work like that. There's a whole pile which I still haven't figured out how you do it unless they're changing it. Otherwise, this is the video footage that you get coming from the camera. Like, okay, I can't post that online. That's not very useful. So that was me just doing a floor plan of a house, and after a while I was like, actually, this isn't helpful. Not at all. And again, if there's on the bed, in another house, it's interesting for about a day, maybe two of usage. After that, you're like, here was an interesting one. That was me in an elevator where there's a mirror. So there's me there taking the photo, and then I'm at either side of the photo as well. That was kind of cool. And it's interesting for that one photo, but if you're trying to use it for anything other than that, it very, very quickly runs out of interest. We're taking photos in small little bathrooms. Don't even know how I shot that one. It just gets a bit weird. And then it tries to do a driving video, and it just ends up looking like that. And yeah, so you've got to be investing far more time in the editing, in the uploading, in the processing, and in the end, it may not give any beneficial effects to the video or the information which you are presenting. And that's the biggest problem. So I think with a lot of camera tech or a lot of film technology that's come out, it's to be able to give the presenter, to give the director more ability to present the information that they want to show, or the film that they want to show. 3D video came out, and I was like, wow, 3D, we get so much more. After a while, I was like, it's not that important, because people started neglecting good storytelling for going 3D effects, and I was like, it's actually not that interesting. We'd rather people to be immersed in a video is not about how we just see it in 3D, but how in a film, I should say, is far more about how well a story is told, and because you can get totally sucked into a movie and you're like, I am there if it's filmed well. Just throwing in a 360 video does not make people feel like they are more there, and in essence, it could make people feel like they are less connected because they're just looking around going, what does the director want me to actually see? What's going on here? I'm lost here. Especially if it cuts from frame to frame and you're just ended up looking up at the sky, next shot you're looking at the ground and you're missing the presenter behind you. And then you're having to spend lots of time either scrolling on your screen or with your mouse everywhere going, where am I meant to look? It can just be a total waste of time. It's quite funny when you give it to your child and then they try and take some pictures of themselves and put their fingers right around the lens. Yeah, doesn't always work perfectly. That's for sure. So there you go. That's just my opinion. Hanging out windows is quite interesting. Great view of Edinburgh. But yeah, you're always going to be in the shot. So I think it's something which is going to be a nice little fad for the next wee while, but it's quickly going to disappear. Anyway, I've got another review coming up about the Ricoh Theta S, which is what I was using here, and just give you more kind of in-depth what I think about that in the near future. Okay, cheers. Bye-bye.